Hello, friends. Hello, friends. How are you today? Wow. All right. This lineup makes no sense. This lineup is extremely frustrating. This lineup is so brutal, and I'm devastated that this is what we are going to witness today. To the point where we're drinking some beers today. You know what I mean? I'm not happy. I'm disappointed. We're going to crush some beers. If you didn't catch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/sports talk with Brodes, we were playing some MLB The Show. I was bothered. I was getting annoyed. I had to drink my pain away with the disaster of a game that I was playing. We're going to continue that ride here on Leading Off with Brodes today, having some cold ones. So cheers to everybody out there. This is going to be a painful game. Unfortunately, this is going to be a painful game. A Philly fan in South Dakota says, today's lineup sucks with the $2 donation. Thank you so much for the $2. That's pretty much where we're going to begin in the batter's box. We will begin with this brutal lineup. Oh, what is this lineup, some would say? Others would say, I have no clue. I don't know if that made sense. Here's what we have for you. Matt Joyce leading off. Andrew McCutchen is not going to be playing today. He's going to be having an off day. Gene Segura batting second. I'm all for having him move up into this lineup. Bryce Harper batting third. JT batting fourth. Miller batting fifth. No Didi Gregorius. We were informed that, hey, we were hopeful he would play on Tuesday. Well, it's probably a little bit more serious than they let on in the beginning, and here's where we are right now. They're probably not going to tell us how bad it really is. Bamboo Brad batting fifth, Bone batting sixth, Mickey Moniak, the disaster, batting seventh, Maton batting eighth, and Zach Wheeler on the mound. I am just disgusted. I am very bothered that you are putting out this lineup. Like, in what universe are you struggling the way that you're struggling? And the best way to change it all, the best way to maybe get back on the right track is to have Matt Joyce playing. And here's the thing. You're not going to play tomorrow. There's going to be a rain out. There's going to be thunderstorms. And maybe you do. Who knows? Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. But here's what I know. This lineup sucks. This lineup blows. This is an egregious lineup, and I'm extremely disappointed that I'm going to be sitting my ass on the couch tonight, and I'm going to be forced to watch this slop. Now, this is how it goes, though. We criticize, we're bothered, we're annoyed. They're going to win. They're going to win. This is what happens. They are going to win this game because we're going to complain, and we're going to be screaming, and we're going to show our frustration so much. We're going to be so annoyed that we're devastated, and then they're going to win. That's just how this goes. I could sense it. I could see it a mile away. But at the same time, I despise what we are witnessing today. This is terrible. Think about the bottom of that lineup. Really? Mickey Moniak, you got Brad Miller in there. And Brad Miller's a fine utility guy. I'm not here going to tell you that Brad Miller is some legitimate bum. But just knowing that this team has struggled so much offensively and hearing your manager yesterday say, we are going to change something. And this is what you give us? We thought you'd give Kutch an eighth hole spot. You'd bring Segura up. You'd make some changes there. But no, you give us Matt Joyce. I mean, he is just a bum. He's just a bum. And Gabe Kapler over there with a big-ass smile on his face after getting booed yesterday, walks out with a victory, and now he sees this lineup. He's probably putting coconut oil all over his testicles and nipples. That's probably what he's doing. And I don't blame him. Quite frankly, if I was him, I'd be doing the same damn thing. It's a disgrace. It's a flat-out disgrace that this is what I need to witness. I need this time to just scream, to rant. It's annoying, and I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off that this is what we need to watch today. When I saw the line, I thought it was a joke. I had to check the Phillies' Twitter and see if they were lying or not. I had to see if they were lying or not. And they weren't. They were lying. They were not lying. Victor says, Brodes, Gabe Kapler made this lineup today. I want to know how much of this was the problem with analytics and the GM or the baseball operation, whatever it is. Dave Dombrowski, the GM, all coming together and handing Joe Girardi this lineup, or Joe Girardi making this decision on his own? Because we are clear how baseball works these days, but Dave Dombrowski's a good mix. He gives you the analytical road, and he gives you that feel. And when he was asked earlier in the season about Joe Girardi and the bullpen, well, that's Joe Girardi's decision. Well, that will come down to what Joe Girardi wants. Joe Girardi will come up with the conclusion. So is this a product of what we have at the GM spot right now when Matt Klentak left? Remember, we do have a GM in place. Dave Dombrowski's the president of baseball operations. We still do have analytics. You still should have analytics. You still want to utilize the analytics. But is this Joe Girardi getting handed a card and saying, I have to do this, or is this him coming up with the decisions himself? For the people asking what the lineup is, I will repeat this lineup. Unfortunately, I will vomit out my mouth again and repeat this lineup. It reads this: Joyce leading off, Segura, Harper, Realmuto, Brad Miller batting fifth, Alec Bohm batting sixth, Mickey Moniak, Nick Maton, and Zach Wheeler. That 7, 8, 9 makes me want to throw up. Your 5, your 5, 7, 8, and 9 are just a flat out disaster, and this is going to be tragic. I say that, yet at the same time, I told everyone to start off that they're going to find a way to win. They're just going to find a way to win, because that's what happens when we let it all fly and we let the emotions get the best of us. They're going to win with this stupid-ass lineup. It's just how it's going to go. No Rhys Hoskins. That is correct. No Rhys Hoskins in play. I am extremely annoyed that I have to watch this garbage today. So that is how we begin today in the batter's box. What the hell is this lineup? How did this lineup come about? How much of this is, well, they have a game day tomorrow. They have an afternoon game. Well, guess what? It's telling me a Glenn Schwartz. Here we go. Hold on. I think I still have him here in my little repertoire from the last time. Something tells me, everybody, that it's going to storm tomorrow. So maybe you should try and be a little bit better today, because you might not play tomorrow, and you also have an off day on Thursday, right? I'm pretty damn positive there's no game on Thursday. Let me clarify here on my calendar. They have a game tomorrow at, 1:05, not 12 o'clock, 1:05 tomorrow. No game Thursday. They're probably not even going to play, according to my sources, Glenn the bow tie Schwartz, all right? So what a nightmare. What a nightmare I'm witnessing right now with this trash. Let's go to the batter's box and discuss this Didi Gregorius nonsense. I'm not happy. Oh, what did I do? I let my banner go. Oh, hold on. Let's get back to the banner. Aha. That's what ended up happening when I moved Ben. Why do I keep saying Glenn Bowtie Schwartz? I can't get that out. I keep saying Glenn Glowtie, and I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Didi Gregorius. This is an issue. I think that there's something there. I do. Knowing how this city has been for me when it comes to injuries, I'm going to search Didi Gregorius injury news right now, just to kind of see. The last that I've heard, though, Didi elbow remains sidelined. So you're just looking at the elbow, and you're looking at the swollenness involved. And I wish that you got a little bit more knowledge on what's going on here. I feel we should know more about your starting shortstop than you do know. MLB lineup alert. Phillies first baseman Rhys Hoskins and outfielder Andrew McCutchen are not in the starting lineup tonight versus the Giants. Didi Gregorius does remain out with the soreness. This could be troublesome, people. This could be a problem. If you got to go Nick Maton for a little bit of time at shortstop, this is no good. This is no bueno, all right? This is just a really bad spot to be in if you got to rock Nick Maton with the combination of not having anybody out there in center field that knows how to play the sport of baseball. You know, I was hearing a lot of people discuss today how it's not really Mickey Moniak's fault. I'm sorry that I expect my center fielder to be able to read the baseball off of the bat. I'm not asking for too much. You're going to look overwhelmed. You're going to look outmatched at times. All right, I can live with it at times. Don't make it look egregious, though. Be like Nick Maton. You look bad at one at-bat, but you smack one the other at-bat. You get a bloop single one at bat, you look bad another bat. Whatever, that's going to happen. But I can demand a first overall pick to know how to read a baseball in the air. That's not too much to ask. So, you know what? Yeah, we're upset with where they are as a franchise with the center field spot because we discussed it prior to the season even beginning, that there is a monster hole there that they need to fill, or this team is just going to flat out fail. And we are seeing that, historically seeing that as the season began. And Joe Girardi's talking about, well, we never thought it would be this bad. How? How do you not see this? How do you not know that it's going to be this bad? Please let me know. Because everyone and their mother, my sister, who I don't even have a sister, my sister knew it was going to be such a tragic season in center field. So Dave Dombrowski and Joe Girardi couldn't see this coming. John Middleton couldn't see this coming. Roman Quinn couldn't see this coming. Adam Hazley couldn't see this coming. Mickey Moniak couldn't have seen this coming. You would think if you're Mickey Moniak, you know your number's getting called. You know that you have an opportunity to land that spot. You finally get it, and this is where you are. It's crazy. So the batter's box, I am on another level right now when it comes to Didi Gregorius, because I think that there's something going on where maybe it's because we're hearing from. Let's go to Dave Dombrowski from yesterday. Let's see if I can find some Dave Dombrowski quotes yesterday about Didi Gregorius playing today on Tuesday. I'm trying to see if I can find anything specific. How about this tweet? Dave Dombrowski, please sell the farm except for Mick Abel and Spencer Howard for a center fielder. Please. I don't think that is in play. Here's a piece from Todd Zalecki. It says here that Dave Dombrowski is open to anything at this point, including a potential trade down the road. I did not see this specifically. This was 22 hours ago, so it was obviously one yesterday after some things went down. But we're not happy with what's going on, Joe Girardi said. We're on our third center fielder in a sense. Mickey's getting a chance, and we'll continue to give him a chance. I know they're all capable of hitting at a much higher clip. No, they're not. They're not just doing it for whatever reason. The reason is they stink. But we need someone to be somewhat productive out there. You think? Yes, I am concerned about the lack of production in center field, said Dave Dombrowski before the game. We need more production out of that position. There's no question about it. We haven't gotten the offensive production we need. You think? I'm trying to see if there's anything about the actual trade itself. He probably needs to relax a little bit, Girardi said, about Mickey Moniak. I've seen him chase more in this short time than I did all last year. Well, maybe because he stinks. And that was not the Mick that we saw. Well, maybe that's because he stinks. All right, this is Dombrowski. I know I'm just kind of reading this piece here, but I do think that it is very important. Just to continue a little bit on this story. We've had a lot of, so why hasn't Herrera been caught up? I did not see this quote. This was asked to Dave Dombrowski. We've had a lot of conversation on it, Dombrowski said. We just thought Moniak was playing a little bit better. That's a lie. But it's one of those situations where we go back and forth on that conversation. That's a lie. We just thought that we'd have more of an opportunity. We just thought that he'd have more of an opportunity. He'd be playing on a regular basis somewhat. In Moniak's case, for example, we're facing a lot of right-handers, so he'd be playing more. That was the reason. Herrera hadn't really gotten going with this bat at this time. It's almost day-to-day when you have those type of conversations. And at that time, the decision was towards Moniak. That's a lie. Nobody's doing the job at the particular moment. You have to keep your mind open to what other opportunities are outside the organization. We haven't reached that point yet. That's a lie. You always got your mind open to it. But you also have to make sure you're making moves that they're going to be what you consider an upgrade. What? What are you talking about, dude? What do you smoke meth? Do you even smoke meth? What do you do meth? I'm done. I can't handle reading these quotes anymore. I just can't. It's sickening and it bothers me. Let's go to the batter's box here and talk a little bit about Zach Wheeler. We need a big one out of Zach Wheeler. Big one. You're probably not going to get a lot of offensive production. You're probably going to have to hold the San Francisco Giants to a couple runs. Even though that wasn't enough yesterday, I don't know if you're going to get as much traffic involved as you got before. You got an obnoxious amount of traffic Well, because you had some of your better players involved. Reese Hoskins. Here's my notes from yesterday, right? And I talked about it a little bit on Coffee with Brodes this morning, but here's my notes from yesterday after the game. You got Reese Hoskins with a single, Bryce Harper with a single, first and third with JT up with an insane at bat where he got caught looking with a splitter in the bottom of the third with 2 outs. Couldn't knock in the run. Bottom 4, you got Bohm with a walk, Segura with a double. The problem is now, here's the problem with that, right? When you talk about production, and this matters with the Zach Wheeler conversation because he's going to have to flat out pretty much pitch a gem. But with the lineup, and I'm looking for the lineup, I'm all over the place. I got 35 million different tabs open, so I apologize if I'm looking. So when you had Bohm and Segura up to get you in the fourth with 0 outs and 2 men on, now when Bohm is up, in front of him is Brad Miller. Behind him is Moniak. You don't have Bohm Segura. Segura is one of your best hitters. You don't have that option, which is going to be different for you. Bottom 5th, Andrew McCutchen walked. Bryce with a little dinky. How do you do? JT should have been doubled up, but with Bohm in the batter's box with first and third and 2 outs in the 5th, you had a chance. I'm just looking at how that relates to what the lineup is today and how you're going to either get that production or not. And I don't think you're going to get as much traffic on the bases, which is definitely going to hinder your possibilities as a squad. So here is what you got out of Zach Wheeler to this point. April 3rd, 7 innings, 10 Ks, and a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful donut next to the walk column and next to the earned runs column. So that was huge. 4 2/3 in his next outing. He got beat up a bit by the umpire. He was getting squeezed all around the dish, and he wasn't able to perform, and he wasn't able to locate his fastball, which significantly hurt his play, and he wasn't able to be the pinpoint accuracy pitcher that we need him to be. So that stunk. In this third outing, he went 6 1/3, allowed 10 hits, 3 earned runs with 6 strikeouts, and walked 1. You're going to need a real solid performance. If you go 6 1/3, allow 10 hits, and allow 3 earned runs, does that get the win today? My guess is probably not out of Zach Wheeler. So I got to demand like a 7 inning performance with 1 earned run or so. That's what I'm going to have to demand out of Zach Wheeler. That is where we are today for him because your lineup is just weak as hell. I wish I had another Stella Artois on the lookout here. Juan Soto to the 10-day IL. I did not see that news. I will verify before I mention that. But there is a problem with this Washington Nationals team. Here's one positive. Yeah, he is on there with the shoulder strain. Here's one positive about the standings and where the Philadelphia Phillies are right now. If you look at the NL East, which we saw as a very important division in terms of just like the MLB, when you're looking around what divisions are going to be lethal, what divisions are going to be fun, the NL East was absolutely in play. The Mets are leading the way at 7-4. The Phillies are in second place at 8-8. The Marlins are 7-8. The Braves are 7-9, and the Nationals are 5-9. Patrick Corbin looks like an absolute mess on the mound for that team. They can't get into sort of any rhythm. They can't figure themselves out at all. The Braves are kind of earning back into things a little bit, but they're kind of having a tough stretch as well. The Mets are 7-4 leading the way. The fact that you're in second place at 8-8, no one's like legitimately running away with this thing is my point. So you can kind of hang around, but you can't be throwing out garbage like today. No Miller Lights. I have a bunch of Miller Lights in the fridge right now, but I had about 5 or 6 Stella Artois left, and I was feeling a Stella Artois over the Miller Lights today. But I'm normally, if I'm going shit light beer, Miller Light all the time. If I'm going for a little bit, not that Stella Artois is the most craziest thing in the world, but I'd say it's an upgrade over the Miller Light action. Yeah, I'm going Stella today, but I normally do go Miller. Braves are destroyed. You're right. Freed and Soroka and who else? Ozzy Albies, I believe. And I know I'm missing somebody else that went on the IL as well. Yeah, the Braves IL is absolutely ridiculous, and they are getting constantly in trouble by not having their players out there. So that's Acuna left the game with the finger as he was sliding back to first base in that Chicago Cubs game, which was absurd, may I add. That Sunday night baseball game, there was how many home runs in the first inning? Four home runs in the first inning for the Braves, and then you have the Cubs kind of pounce back a bit and do as much as they possibly could. But But yeah, I mean, that game's crazy. But you're right. I don't know where Acuna is right now, though. I don't know if he ended up playing the game after the Cubs. I haven't seen the I haven't seen the Braves since then, and I guess it's only been one day. But Acuna's out today and probably tomorrow. Okay. That's reasonable, I guess, with the hand. You could tell that he was kind of shaking it off every single pitch. Keith loves him some Stella. Damn right. There's nothing wrong with this, Stella. I almost want to go grab another one, to be honest with you, but I'm too lazy to get up at the same time. There's a fridge right there. I can see it in my line of fire here. See, I'm in my office, but if you open the door right outside of my office, we have a secondary fridge in the basement. And it's got all the beer in the world in it. So I kind of want to go grab them. But you see this? It's called a chair. Do you see this? It's called my ass. My ass is in the chair. I'm too lazy to get up. All right, so Zach Wheeler's importance is obviously huge. I do want to go to the batter's box real quick, though, and talk about Joe Girardi. All right, Joe Girardi's decisions. So I'm not even talking about the lineup right now. I'm talking about what we saw yesterday in the fourth inning. I did hear a lot of conversation about Joe Girardi today about what he did was a disgrace, and he was managering. He was being a manager as if this was Game 7 of the World Series, taking out Chase Anderson for Brad Miller to try and get some runs when you're down 2-0. And apparently that was an immature decision. Oh, yeah, Drew Smiley's the other one with the Braves that ended up happening. That's right. I do remember seeing that as well. Here's where I have the issue, though. First off, the bullpen worked. It would be different if Chase Anderson won. It would be different if he was your number 1 guy, your number 2 guy, your number 3 guy. He's your number 5 guy, and you were probably asking for 5 innings out of the dude, and he gives you 4. So Brad Miller going up in the 4th, you're desperate. You are desperate, and you know you're desperate, and he wasn't. Everything played out right. So it would be different if Joe Girardi's decision costed you the game. It did not cost you the game. Why? You have a bullpen that makes sense. You have a bullpen that can actually work out of some situations. David Hale, Coonrod, Kinsler, and JoJo Romero. They all did their job, and they all held the Giants to 0 runs scored. So it actually worked, and what he decided to do did not cost you. And I don't think that this isn't last year. If it was last year, I'm with you. I would say that it would bother me. This doesn't bother me. And here's another thing. I mentioned the 3rd inning, the 4th inning, the 5th inning, the 6th inning, and the 8th inning's a little bit of a reach, but fine. The bottom 3rd, bottom 4, bottom 5, bottom 6, you had all these chances, right? And you didn't score the runs. So he wasn't wrong. His assessment was right. I'm desperate. I should be desperate. His thought process was proven right. So I don't understand why you should be mad at Joe Girardi, why you should be upset with Joe Girardi for some of the decisions that he made prior. It was logical. He was right. And his button pushing worked. All the bullpen pieces worked. Every time you sent someone up there, they didn't get that timely hit. What's that mean? Trying to get that extra opportunity in the 4th is worth it because your team is not coming up with timely hits. It's not that hard to figure out, and I have no problem whatsoever with what Joe Girardi did in the 4th. I do not understand the outrage towards it. And with that, we'll go to the batter's box for the last time and really open it up to the chat. All right, your thoughts, your comments on what is happening right now with this Philadelphia Phillies team. Where's Spencer Howard? Well, he was in the bullpen the last time we saw him, and from there, we haven't seen him since. So Spencer Howard is just waiting for his chance. He's waiting for his number to get called, and I think he does deserve some time to get out there. But there is this problem. I don't think he's very good. I hate to say that. I really do. We were told he was the top end of the rotation piece. I'm sorry, he's not a top end of the rotation piece. He's just not. He's not. I think his ceiling is like his ceiling, very tippy top ceiling is a 3. What I think he's going to be is a 4. Right now, though, he's working out of the pen, which I think does him a disservice because he's not Connor Brogdon. He's not Brandon Kinsler. He's not a dude that's wired right for the pen. He's a Vince Velasquez. Vince Velasquez, not wired right for the pen. Whether his stuff would work better in the pen compared to being a starting pitcher, here's what we know. He doesn't work out of the pen. That's not him. I don't like Spencer Howard there. I don't think he's very good. I agree here. Howard is better than Moore. Fine. I would be okay if you told me Matt Moore is not going to pitch anymore and Spencer Howard gets those starts. I will just preface it by saying you're going to be pissed, you're going to be bothered, you're going to be upset, and you're not going to be happy with some of the Spencer Howard starts, and his pitch count will probably be 65, 66, 67, 4 innings in, 3 innings in, 3 innings in. Like, that's what he's going to do. He's going to struggle to put guys away. Guys are going to, foul the ball. You're going to have these high pitch counts. I've just seen it to this point. I'm not saying that he's never going to be anything. I think he will grow into a role. I don't think his role is as high as we really want it to be. There's problems warming up the shoulder already. There's been problems with shoulder injuries already. I would take Spencer Howard over Matt Moore any single day of the week. The problem is, though, when you look at the lefty part of things, he's a lefty. When you look at the veteranness of him, well, they're tied to this veteran somehowness. They're veteran somehowness. They're tied to that. So he's gonna continue to get run, and it bothers me, but it's also a reality of the situation. Spencer Howard could be anything. He has a bright future. I look at his stuff, and it just screams Vince Velasquez to me. Vince Velasquez, if you look at his fastball, if you look at his pitches, he's got velocity. He's got a fastball. The problem is going out there for a second inning. The problem is going out there the third time through the lineup. He gets abused then. Vince Velasquez, just from a, quote, stuff standpoint, I mean, it's very similar to what Nick Pivetta had. Nick Pivetta had stuff, but it doesn't really always mean that it's going to be beneficial and it's going to work. I just have this really bad feeling of Spencer Howard. And as much as I love just ranting about a changeup and ranting about some off-speed pitches, so I watch a 12-6 drop insanely. Whoa, what? Hey, oh, my head just goes nuts. You know when you're watching tennis and you go like this and you're watching the ball as you're going back and forth, Nadal versus Federer? That's what I feel like with the 12. I'm watching that off-speed pitch. I feel a sneeze coming right now, and I'm waiting for it to come out. You know that feeling? It's like, that's what I kind of have right now. And it's not coming. But anyway, getting back on track here. Who would I look for trading for? I want Mitch Haniger. I really do. I want Mitch Haniger. I want there's another oh man, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Plays for this oh man, come on. Come on. I'm drawing a blank, and I'm going to get it. I promise you I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I promise you I'm going to get it. I'm searching it, and I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Santander. Orioles. That's the team I was looking for. But wow, he's born in 94. Oh, I feel so. I'm born in 95. Here's this kid, 6'2", 235. I want to trade for him. He's 1 year older than me. That's a name that I would like to go after. The only reason why I'm switching on Mitch Haniger is because the Seattle Mariners, are good. The Seattle Mariners are winning baseball games. You're not going to trade Mitch Haniger if that's the case. So Santander is a name that I would be very interested in going out and grabbing. It's not going to be sexy. It's not going to be the best center fielder in the world. You're not going to get a franchise-changing guy. Teams aren't giving up those pieces. So you're going to grab a guy that will help you out and be okay, going to be an improvement, going to give you numbers than you're already getting, but it's not going to be anything crazy where you're getting franchise-changing, like legitimately franchise-changing. Yeah, see, people are bringing up Blackman. Well, the Rockies are a disaster, and they are so brutal internally. Everybody wants to kind of leave there. There's been rumors about Trevor Story, and we know that Nolan Arenado got his way out of town. Charlie Blackman, I mean, everything's better than what you got right now. There's no denying that, but if you look at where he is right now, he's hitting 191. He's coming off of 2 years in a row of hitting over 300. He's in a little bit of a rut. Does that mean you can buy him high or buy him low, I guess you would say. I doubt the Rockies do it. The Rockies are a mess internally, though. They are where the Philadelphia Eagles are, if not even worse. They're the Cleveland Browns style of back when Cleveland couldn't win one football game. Like, that's where the Rockies are internally, so who knows? But the name speaks for itself. I don't think that, Blackman sucks at fielding. Do you see what's out there right now? But that's my point. Like, I think this is perfect. I want Mitch Haniger as well. I don't think Seattle's going to move him. Here's what I say, though, from a perspective of Blackman. Saying, well, Blackman sucks at fielding. Your options right now, you got .043. You got Mickey Moniak, who has 0 hits this season. You got Adam Ainsley, who had to leave, and you don't know if he's going to return. You got Scott Kingery, who's batting 2 of whatever. I'll pull back up that disgusting stat that I saw at the end of yesterday. Here is your stat. He's batting 1 for 26 with 12 strikeouts. You know what? I don't care if Charlie Blackman sucks at fielding or not. I really don't. I don't care. Mariners started with a 13-2 record in 2019, so I don't think their hot streak will last long. I think that's a fine assessment. I really do. And I brought up this article in the past from Corey Seidman on NBC Sports Philadelphia. And I do think that there's some I want to read exactly what he says about. Is this 4 days ago? Oh, no, this is actually a YouTube video. I don't want a YouTube. Damn it. I want to. Corey Seidman, center field trade for Phillies. I want to actually read what is said about. Let's see. Bang. All right, here's the article. All right. So I want to actually read what was mentioned about Mitch Haniger in the actual piece. The Mariners. Never called them the Mariners before in my life. I think I'm thinking of, I don't know what I was thinking there. Mitch Marner from the Toronto Maple Leafs and Mitch Haniger and the Mariners all combined to the Mariners. The Mariners are going nowhere fast, and at 30 years old, Haniger does not align with their next window to contend. Haniger missed most of 2019 and all of 2020 after suffering one of the worst injuries imaginable, a ruptured testicle from fouling off a pitch in the groin. Jose Alvarado status. Haniger's owed over just $3 million this season as the Mariners' 5th highest paid player in 2021. Next season, his final year of arbitration eligibility, and then he's a free agent after 2022. He's the exact sort of trade candidate the Phillies could be eyeing because of the inexpensive salary and his team situation. He's not a star, but he'd like to be a meaningful offensive upgrade at center. The problem is I just don't see them making that move. I just really don't. Now that's more like it when you're talking about Charlie Blackman. Now the money is more in play of the problem. But here's the thing. When Dave Dombrowski came here, the problem was you weren't being legit to yourself on what you needed to do. When you hired, my point is this. When you hire Dave Dombrowski, you're essentially saying we're going to spend money. When you bring in a man like that, you think to yourself, okay, we are going to spend money. Now, does that mean you're going to be going over the luxury tax and you're going to go extreme and you're going to go insanely aggressive? Probably not. Probably not. So I do think that there is truth to maybe and I'm looking at his total deal right now. He signed a 6-year, $108 million contract. And in 2021, he will earn a base salary of $21 million. I think that is you see the big difference between $3 million and that. But, yeah, it's just I don't know what they're going to do. It's probably going to be something where it's technically an upgrade, but it's not an upgrade that's really going to get you all crazy and all insane about it for sure. This is interesting. I do think there's something there because of George Springer. The impact of signing George Springer now allows Toronto to have a little bit more flexibility and all, but I wonder how much of them think to themselves, let's have a backup plan. See, the Phillies did not set themselves up with a backup plan. They knew that this could get ugly, and they knew that this could get real sloppy real quick. And instead of saying, hey, we have a plan B, and if they thought their plan B was Roman Quinn, Mickey Moniak, Scott Kingery, your plan B fucking sucked. So, with that being said, maybe the Blue Jays treat it differently where we want to have a backup plan in case something happens to George Springer, in case there's also a situation there. Maybe, but once again, money does play a role in inside of things as well. But yeah, I understand the thought process of the George Springer signing and maybe looking at it from that direction. But it depends on John Middleton. It depends on how John Middleton is feeling, what he's willing to do, and yeah, I mean, I wanted Jackie Bradley Jr. So entering the season, I thought Jackie Bradley Jr. would be a name that would give you professional play. He's not going to be the most outstanding player in the world. He's not going to be the most dominant player in the world, but he's going to be able to help you out and just give you professional play. He's going to be able to hold his own. You should not be platooning the center field position at this point. And just going to see a little bit of what Jackie Bradley Jr. has been providing to this point. Man, I love watching. It just popped up that the Padres were one of the last teams that was on his game log there, and I love watching the Padres play. That's my point. In Milwaukee this year, he has 56 at bats. He's hitting 214. Not anything spectacular. Does have 21 strikeouts, so he's clearly not. But we're comparing it to .043. So we're talking about 214 and being satisfied, pretty damn satisfied with 214 compared to .043 and .000. That's what we're talking about. .000 and .043. I'm supposed to be disappointed with 214 and 21 strikeouts and 50-something at-bats, 60-something at-bats. Yeah, I do know that that's not good. I do know that that's bad. I do know that that isn't really accomplishing your goal. But compared to what you have, it is a mess. It really is a mess. Eagle Strike says, my honest opinion is give Odubel a chance before spending money. If he falls short, then it's time to go for it. This is the thing. You know what you're getting out of Odubel. Production-wise, you're going to get Odubel Herrera that you have gotten to this point. His hot months are going to be awesome. His cold months are going to be frustrating. And the problem is because of the stank surrounding his name, when he does have a cold streak and when he's striking out and his helmet's flying off and his dreads are going crazy and his mechanics are all off and his swing is out of whack and it just looks like Odubel Herrera striking out at the dish trying to swing for home runs, the pressure is going to be added with the noise of the fan base and all that with the PR. He's going to go through an ugly stretch. So it makes it that much worse. We think it's bad now about Roman Quinn and Moniak. It would be even worse when it's a Odubel Herrera run. But you know what? Like, to think anything other than what you've seen out of Odubel Herrera to this point is going to happen, well, that's ridiculous. Odubel Herrera's been around long enough, and I know he's taken some time off, but you know what Odubel Herrera is. You know what he is. So you know what to expect. Is that good enough? It's better than what you have, but they're not doing it, though. They're not doing. Think about where you're at right now. Seriously. Think about where the Phillies are at right now at center field. Is Odubel Herrera up? No. Why is he not up? Is it because he can't outperform what's being out on the field? Because I guarantee you that's not it. I mean, it's not that hard to see. Maybe they get so desperate that they feel it's the only option. But I'll tell you what, they are waiting until the very last second, and I mean very last second, until they have to make that type of decision, which is just absolutely crazy. Imagine what 214 would have done for the Phillies so far this season. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about it. Jackie Bradley Jr. Yeah, no doubt that 214 would be something way, 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 way different. And it's still not even good. And it's really not even good at all. Looks like Phillies fan in South Dakota wants to give Dubel a chance as well. I'm not anti. I'm definitely not anti. I'm just looking at it with my set of eyes if I was in the organization. And the writing's on the wall. They feel that it's not the move. They feel that way. I'm not telling you that based off of my personal opinion. I'm telling you that based off of what we have seen them do to this point, and that's a big difference for sure. Trade with the Cubs for Jock Peterson. I don't know if that's realistic. That's the issue. I don't think that that's a possibility. Maybe Dave Dombrowski pulls something out of his ass. Really, what if he just pulls something out of his ass and goes, whoop, here we go, boys, here we go. You know? Like sort of like when your boy walks up and he's got 230s on his shoulders and he walks through the door, kicks the door open, you're all out back day drinking, and you see the 230s and the White Claws, and you start fist pumping. Maybe that's what Dave Dombrowski does. He takes it out of his ass. It's a center fielder that can actually play a little bit out of nowhere, a name that's just out of the blue, a name that's just random as hell that nobody even speculated, and it's just bang, random, bang, and then here comes the Phillies faithful, giving it like the, hey, let's go, as if it's your boy with the White Claws. You know what I'm saying? You might have to deal with the Spencer Howard start with more on the IL. Well, it looks like they're going Vinny Velasquez. That's the problem. It looks like they're going Vince Velasquez against the Colorado Rockies in Coors Field on Friday. Now, the Colorado Rockies are not a good baseball team, so maybe it was planned, hey, he stinks, they stink, let's at least throw him out there. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the situation. The Sixers dance has been dead for quite some time. I always think that's funny. The amount of people that are like, Brodes, where's the dance? Where's the dance? It's 2021. The dance died in like 2019. The dance hasn't been a thing forever. There's still comments. Brodes, where's the dance? Brodes, I thought the dance would be here. Well, the dance hasn't been a thing in forever. I just outgrew the dance, all right? That's all. I outgrew the dance. I think that's fine to say. I don't think there's anything wrong with outgrowing the dance. People adapt. People adjust. People outgrow some things. You outgrow clothes. You outgrow shoes. I outgrow the dance. That's all. All right, so where we're at here, just a quick rundown on the disaster of the lineup. The lineup sucks. I don't know what we're doing here. The lineup flat out absolutely sucks. Matt Joyce, Gene Segura, Bryce Harper, Real Muto Miller, Bo Moniak, Maton, and Wheeler. I put up a Twitter poll just about 2 hours ago when time is running out to vote. And I tweeted out, you have to choose the over-under. How many strikeouts from Mickey Moniak tonight? Over 1.5, under 1.5. The over is sitting at 77% with 176 votes. The over at 1.5 is at 77. The under is at 23%. Under 1.5. So those are where you're at right now with the over-under of the Brodes bets. Maybe we'll implement that throughout. The Brodes bets of the game. I kind of like that. Maybe I'll write that down here. I think I am. I got my list of, my notebook is just absolutely flooded with a bunch of garbage. The amount of these subject notebooks I have with all sorts of information. Brodes' bets. Maybe we do something there. Brodes' pregame bets. Implement that. And I do have something else I need to do as well. Bryce Harper hits a homer. Moniak hits a homer. Come on, bruh. Harper will hit a homer. Maybe. I mean, Bryce Harper has been hot as hell, so maybe there is some truth to that for sure. But as you all know, leading off with Brodes, it's about a 45-minute program. So with that being said, it is time to kind of shut down the stream, get ready for the game to watch what is probably going to be terrible, but knowing that we think it's going to be terrible, it's probably going to be better than we think it is, and they're going to win with this trash lineup. I just sense it. At the same time, I sense it being terrible. I don't even know if all of that makes sense. It makes sense in my brain, though. And at the end of the day, that's what's important to me, my brain making sense. So thank you, everyone, so much for hanging out, for leading off with Brodes. We got a big game against the Giants. If you want to try and win the not the division, but yes, that's important too. If you want to try and win this series, you got to win tonight. We don't even know if tomorrow's game is going to happen at 1 o'clock in the Storms, but got to try and win. All right, thank you, everyone, so much for hanging out during leading off with Brodes. I'll catch you guys after the game on the post-game pod.